We've got 10 days before the earnings for NIO. What's going to happen, guys? Are we going to have another jump on the 20th of November this month, like what happened back in the 5th of September, where we got our reversal from this selling pressure? And we got, let me just show you how much the price jumped after the earnings back in September. We jumped almost 76%. Now we're getting near the earnings, and of course getting near the bottom over the $4.77. So in today's video we have to discuss, is that the last bottom before the squeeze? Are we gonna have a squeeze or jump before the earnings? This is another scenario. Are we gonna have a bit of consolidation at the earnings? We're gonna have the jump like what happened before. We have a selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, and at the earning we jumped. We might have the same reaction here. So we have to build a strategy for NIO because the earnings is imminent. And of course, if we check the earnings, we see that the earnings expectation from the last time, we have a better earning estimate around the negative 27, and before we have the negative 30. 0.30 for the estimate for the earnings. So we have a high expectation from the analyst for NIO that is doing better in the future. So in today's video, we have to discuss that, and we have to discuss the revenue, because the revenue, it is higher right now for the estimate around the 2.700 billion compared to the other earnings that we have in September around the 2.400 billion. So we have suppressed of almost let's see here 300 million. So it's not bad. So guys, hit the like, subscribe, and of course put the notification button on in order to be notified on our early live streaming, not early, but the normal live streaming around 9 a.m. Eastern time, and the early live streaming, of course, that we do every day on our Discord. As you can see here, we do it around 7 a.m. Eastern time, before the market opened by almost 2 hours and a half. Let me just show you here. We have the earnings or the live streaming that we do here on Discord. The link comes section below if you want to join us, guys, and of course have access to mini short analysis update. The last trade that we did for the last Friday was for DXYZ. Was great hunt because we expected the price to go around the 42. We already did the short analysis update, of course, for it. And as you can see here, we said the resistance 1397, profit taking 33, 36, and almost 43. And of course, our hunters took their profit, and we suggest this is it. We said this is good to take profit at, and everybody took really good profit. And Ahmed, of course, he has a good entry, and he took a good profit on it. And of course, one of our new hunters on the king level, he have a good profit on the first day. Welcome, brother. Shout out to Boja for the new day, and of course the new profit for the first day for him. Congrats, brother. And of course, this is just the new day. Every day we have a new opportunity, of course, on our Discord and picture. For now, guys, what we should expect for NIO, because as we said, the earnings coming up in 10 days. We have anticipation. Yes, we pull back here after the reversal that we anticipated before. We did 20%. But as we discussed, the earning anticipation is really pretty good for the earnings, and of course for the revenue, almost 300 billion. Again, we have just from the technical, just not from the fundamental looking great. However, the technical looking even great, because we're still holding the $4.77 as a bottom. We have a resistance to break by the next week, before the end of this month, or even before the earnings. We might break it at the earnings. If we consolidate here, is mean we're gonna have a slow market for NIO. What I mean the price will be broken once we got confirmation for the earnings estimate, and of course breaking this level at the earnings. So there's two scenario, guys, here for NIO. Before the earnings, 10 days, we might consolidate between the $4.77 and the $5.39. no action until we have the earnings, and then of course we're gonna break this resistance around the 540 and squeeze again toward the 6 and the 7 and beyond. The other reaction is way better, is breaking the $5.39 and go toward the $6.16 by the earning. This would be the best case scenario for NIO. So we anticipate another 20% and then preparing for the squeeze around the 616, and this will give us the $7 and beyond for NIO and go to all-time high for the last few months, of course, last October, and go over the $7.60. This is the best case scenario, guys, for NIO that we should see in the coming days before the earnings by 10 days from now. Let me know in comment section below what's the price target for you guys before the earnings. Are we gonna have the $8 after the earnings, or are we gonna have the price going below the $4.77 and flush down, which give us at least the price around the $3? So either we're gonna have price hovering over the $3.50 after the earnings, or over the $7. There is no in between, 7 or 3. Let me know in comment section below, guys, for the price target for NIO after the earnings, after 10 days from now, because after that, the next year or after the earnings, everything could happen, and we've got less probability that we can predict the price. That's why we have a small range or near price target for NIO, because the more near the price or the more near the days that we can predict is the more precision for our prediction, because the more you go in time frame, it's like predicting the weather. The more you go further in time, it's really hard to predict the weather, because there is more data to be analyzed, and of course the chaos where we live in chaos right now in the market is kind of the weather will be more complex. You can read the chaos theory, of course, is really good perspective on the market. You can have a glimpse about how chaotic the market is. So that's why I'm more focused on the small time frame, or at least a few days in the future, than focusing on the stock or projection of the stock for years. It will be hard to predict for many stocks. So guys, as we said, by tomorrow, we're gonna go live around 9 a.m. Eastern time, and this is translate to 3 p.m. CET if you live in Europe. And before that, early live streaming as usual on our Patreon Discord around, you guessed it, 7, lucky 7 a.m. Eastern time on our Discord and Patreon. The link in comment section below if you want to have early access. Thank you for watching, and see you by tomorrow. Have a nice weekend.